Hey everybody, it's Marta here. In today's video we're going to look at my very old video about SIPP, pension and claiming tax back, under which you left quite a few comments and questions back in the day and not such a long time ago. So I'll just pull some of them up and answer them in today's video. Let's get started. Let's say you open a SIPP and alongside your monthly contributions you also add your old workplace pension. A year after, I need to claim only the fraction that comes from my earnings. Is that correct? Let's agree on what we're talking about here first, the monthly contribution. If you're a higher taxpayer, then yes, you need to claim some of that tax back. If you're not a higher taxpayer, there's nothing for you to be done. Your SIPP provider will automatically claim that relief and pay it into your SIPP. Now, the old work pension pot. When you add it to your SIPP, that will be treated as a pension transfer, not a contribution. Contribution must come from taxed money, so outside of the wrapper. Whereas when you transfer your old pension, it will be already in the wrapper. So previously, your workplace pension, now the SIPP. So there is no tax relief to claim on it. My father is 64. Can he open a SIPP, put money in it, claim the additional tax rate and start withdrawing from SIPP? Okay, so this is a situation that for many people sounds too good to be true, but actually it is true. Let me explain. We're in 2024 and the retirement age is 66. The way SIPPs work is that you're allowed to start withdrawing money from that SIPP, from your SIPPs, 10 years ahead of your retirement age. So at 56 in current year, this person's father is 64, so can start withdrawing money from their SIPP now. There is no age limit for your contributions to a SIPP, but you will get the tax relief only up to age 75. So yes, your father can still pay money in and will get the tax relief. And again, yes, he can withdraw money from his SIPP. Will the additional return be sent to your SIPP or will it come to your account? Okay, it really depends. Your relief can be either supplied as a rebate into your bank account at the end of the tax year, a reduction in your tax liability, or a change to your tax code. So it all depends on your personal situation. In my case, because I completed a self-assessment and didn't need my tax code changed, I received a rebate into my bank account. What will happen to you depends on your personal situation. Now a question somehow connected to the previous one. For the tax refund claimed, would the money be required to pay into the SIPP or can it stay out? Essentially, it's a tax refund and you get to decide what to do with it. You can spend it on shoes if you want, you can pay it into your SIPP, and then you get more tax relief on top of that payment when you make it back into your SIPP. So up to you and your priorities. Need help to understand exactly when I should submit a self-assessment tax return. For example, it's 2023 and I have been contributing to a SIPP. Could I submit a claim at the end of the tax year in April 2024? Or do I have to wait till the end of following tax year to claim higher 40% relief? Okay, in this country, tax years run from April to April and you can submit your self-assessment as early as the current tax year has ended. So in your case, April 2024, as it was an old question. For anybody asking the same question today, we're in November 2024, it would be April 2025. So as soon as the tax year ends, you can submit your self-assessment. In fact, you will get a reminder from HMRC saying, please submit early. Have you ever wanted to learn how to speak Swahili or bake multi-layered wedding cakes? How to replace pipes and electric wires in your house and hone your ballroom dancing skills? No? Neither have I. Like you, I have much better things to do with my time. Recently, I had to close down a limited company. I didn't have an accountant and needed to prepare end-of-year accounts. Did I want to learn how to do it myself? Hell no. I asked tax scouts to take that pain away from me. And guess what? Not only did they go above and beyond, but were fast. Tax returns, company accounts and end-of-year returns, they will do them all at a fixed price, no matter how complicated. Just imagine, somebody will actually be happy to see your swimming pool of coffee-stained receipts. On average, TaxScout's customers are paying a fraction of the cost compared to using a traditional accountant. I'm already thinking of what I will do with that extra cash. Maybe I will invite my neighbors for dinner. No, come on, nobody will do that. But you should try TaxScouts out. Instead of asking me about that missing column on your self-assessment or how to claim that tax relief as a high earner, give them a go. Use my exclusive link that will give you 10% off their services the first time you use them. Stop suffering for taxes. Let TaxScouts deal with them. Go to the description of this video and use my referral link. Do I really need to complete a self-assessment tax return? No, you don't. You can call HMRC, spend a long time waiting for them to answer, and explain your situation to them. Now, they will do the calculations for you. They will send you a letter with all these calculations for your record and very likely change your tax code to reflect those calculations. In other words, you won't get a rebate, but you will benefit from an adjusted tax throughout the year. So, up to you. If that's what you want, call HMRC, explain your situation, what you contributed, how you're planning to contribute, and see what happens. In the self-assessment, do I put the total of the money I put into the SIPP or the total plus the percentage added already by HMRC? You put the total including the relief. It's easier that way because the numbers will be already there, but also it's the correct way. So yes, you add that relief already. I opened the SIPP account this year. Can I claim SIPP allowance for the past 4 years? Now, in short, no. There's no such thing as SIPP allowance. There's pension allowance. The annual pension allowance includes employers' contributions, your personal contributions, and tax relief. So all of these things together. But I have a feeling this question is a victim of poor wording, so let's dive a bit deeper here. You can't backdate pension contributions, but what you can do is you can use the pension carry forward rule. It's a bit like you'd carry forward any unused annual leave from 1 year to another if your employer offers you this option. So you can benefit from any unused allowances in the previous 3 years. 3, not 4. Going back to the question, in your case, you didn't pay anything into your SIPP for the last 3 years. So in the tax year 2021-2022, when the annual allowance was £40,000, you contributed 10k through your workplace. Let's just admit that, okay? For the sake of saying that you actually did contribute something to your pension because it's one big pot. What this means, essentially, is that your unused allowance is 30k. 40k minus 10 is 30k. In the tax year 2022-2023, the annual allowance was still £40,000. And again, let's say you contributed 10k through your workplace. So your unused allowance for that year is the same, 30k, okay? Which is making it very simple. So now your total unused allowance is 30 plus 30, 60k. The following year, so in the third year, the annual allowance was increased to £60,000 per year. So you contribute another 10k through your work pension. So you slap the unused 50k on top of what you already had as a total. And so you end up with £110,000 in unused allowance. And now we're in 2024, so the tax year is 2024-2025. The annual allowance is still £60,000. When you add this allowance to your unused allowance so far, it turns out that you can contribute 170k into your SIPP this year. Keep in mind though, that to do so, you'd need to be earning 170k this year too. That's how it works. So yes, you can carry forward your old annual allowances, but you need to have used up your allowance in the current year first, and also have been a member of your pension scheme from the year you want to carry forward. And that is it. This was the last question for today. So those are the things you asked about under my previous video about SIPP, about pensions, and I found them repetitive enough and interesting enough to answer. If you found this video useful, please give it a like. It will let me know that you value this type of content and also just make my day. Have a wonderful time, whatever you're doing next. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.